Chris Windom from the front row. Skylar G alongside. Rico, Abreu, and Brenham Crouch in row number 2. And then it's Tyler, Courtney, and Parker Price Miller in the 3rd row. Zeb Wise, Corey Eliason in row 4. Tanner Thorson, Cy Lynch in 5. Then you got Justin Peck and Corey Day in the 6th row. 7th row is Brent Marks and Casey Kahne. 8th row, Jacob Allen and Casey Jedrzejek. Brad Sweet, James McFadden, Spencer Bayston, Cole Duncan, Bryce Lucius, Nate Dussel, Cale Stinson, and Justin Clark at the tail end of the field. Portsmouth Raceway Park. We got them racked, we got them stacked, and we've got the grandstands packed. Let's go racing off at turn number 4. We are green. Off and running in the Dean Knittel Memorial. Rico, Abreu, an aggressive maneuver to get by Skylar G for the 2nd spot. Move Abreu quickly up to P2. He finished in that spot last year at the 2023 version of the Dean Knittel Memorial. Now he looks to track down Chris Windom, who leads lap number 1. 1 down, 29 to go. Windom trying to prove the doubters wrong here tonight. Then it's Abreu in 2nd. G runs in 3rd. Brenham Crouch runs in 4th. And then in the top 5 position right now is the number 8 car of Corey Eliason. Eliason rounds out the top 5. Hot on his heels, though, on the front straightaway. The 7 BC of Tyler Courtney, and then right there with Courtney as well, the 9P of Parker Price Miller. Behind PPM, there's quite the gap that's built up between him and the 42 car of Cy Lynch. Traffic will certainly become a factor quickly here in this race, as Windom is already on the same straightaway as the back of the field, the 78 car of Justin Clark. Windom stretching the advantage out over Rico Abreu. The last time by was nearly 1.5 second lead for the 55 car. Windom makes his way around the top side of the racetrack in turns 1 and 2. Closing in on the 78 car of Justin Clark down the back straightaway. Going to try and work to the outside of the Hamersville, Ohio driver. Makes it around him right there in turn number 4 and puts him 1 lap down. Abreu trying to close in. That time by, Windom actually gained even more time on Rico Abreu, up to 1.51 seconds. Here comes Brenham Crouch trying to get up there to the 99 car of Skylar G for a podium position. Could be a huge night for both Windom and Crouch. Now Windom tries to get by Nate Dussel in turn 1. Gets over the cushion in turn number 2. Car into the infield, it's Jacob Allen. But Windom made a big mistake right there trying to get by Nate Dussel. Slides in front of the 1D car right there off of turn number 4. And Windom now with a car between himself and the 2nd place car, Rico Abreu. Abreu had to get on the brakes right there. Almost got into the back of Nate Dussel, and Abreu's closing in quickly down the back straightaway. Chris Windom has to get going. He's got to get going right now. Unfortunately for him, a couple fast cars up the road, including Spencer Bayston, Bryce Lucius. Oh, car around in turn 2. 1 around right in front of your race leader. And Windom is able to avoid him. Hard to tell from here. That is the 11N of Casey Jedrzejek, spun in turn number 2, right above where the racing groove is. Jedrzejek running 16th at the time of that incident, right where he had started at, right behind Brad Sweet, right in front of James McFadden. Whichever way they go is where they will restart the race, and Windom will choose the bottom. Rico goes to the top. No games being played here so far at the front part of the field as they make their way by the pick pint. So it's Dussel, Duncan, Allen, and Stinson. Those are the 4 cars that are out of the race right now as Jedrzejek rejoins to make it an even 20 out there on the racetrack. We're going green this time by. Green flag is back out at the Dean Knittel Memorial. Good restart for Chris Windom, a better one maybe for Skylar G, as G looked underneath of Rico Abreu. Abreu shut the door on him entering turn number 1. Abreu going to lose some ground, a car around, there's contact, major contact, and upside down. Another car with the throttle stuck. It is Spencer Bayston, and he is actually going to tip that car over as well. So 2 cars involved in this one, red flag conditions, and it started with Tanner Thorson towards the front of the field. He restarted in 9th position. Looked like he got up and over the curb that is developed there about halfway up the racing groove. Got over that, got the car sideways, came back down the banking there. Got into a couple cars, including James McFadden, and then Spencer Bayston hit the wall in the backstretch and the throttle hung. Was able to get it shut off there on the inside of the back straightaway. Race fans, we can confirm that both drivers are okay over there. James McFadden and Spencer Bayston both out of their race cars and walking around. And Spencer Bayston sounds like standing by right now with Tony Laporta. Tony?
Spencer, first of all, are you okay? Yeah, I'm okay. Obviously just bummed. I feel terrible. We're in the back where no one can see anything, and I just feel bad for my guys. You know, we got a big week coming up. We got 4 big races at Eldora, and you know, I was really excited to come to this place because watching the videos and everything can be so good about it, but obviously just something wasn't right about it tonight because it's just dangerous starting in the back like that when no one can see. I think that developed, I imagine that developed a few rows in front of me. I didn't see anything until I felt it. So just a damn shame.
Thanks for talking to us. We're glad you're okay. That's Spencer Bayston at Chase. As he walks away, you can see the top half of his fire suit just absolutely covered in dirt, and that came from that slow tip over. But visibility, a concern of Bayston's and a few of these other drivers after the accident.
Yeah, we'll see if we can get a spool up a replay here on Flow Racing to see what exactly took place, and here is that replay right now. You're going to be looking at the 88 car of Tanner Thorson. He'll be on the top of the racetrack, right side of your screen right now, gets over the cushion, gets sideways, comes down the track trying to correct the mistake, and McFadden comes around at full song, clips the left side of his car, and Bayston was just another guy coming in there trying to avoid the mess. He, like you said, he didn't even see it until it happened. Sounds like McFadden's car with a lot of damage to it. Going to need a tow truck to basically pick that whole car up off the racetrack to get him back to the pit area. Tony?
Chase, I'm down here. James McFadden. James, you okay?
Yeah, mate, I'm fine. Just banged my elbow a little bit. Yeah, unfortunate way to end the night, but yeah, just can't see anything, and I guess someone spun out up towards the front of the field there, and zero visibility back there, and yeah, I don't know if he was parked there for a while or not, but I didn't see it until I was flipping. So yeah, bad way to end the night.
I saw your crew chief out here, a couple of your crew members as well. They were surveying the damage. Were they thinking there was any chance that we haven't even seen your car yet, or were they just coming out to check on you?
Just check on me. The rear rails pushed through the other side of the car, so the car's absolutely destroyed, but I guess that's why they make new ones, and we'll come back and fight again.
James McFadden, we're glad you're okay. Thanks for talking to us.
Thank you very much, Tony. So unfortunate circumstances there for James McFadden. Here's another replay. Tanner Thorson, black 88 car, right side of your screen on the top of the racetrack here, gets over the cushion, gets sideways, comes down the track, clips Casey Kahne first, then gets into McFadden. Brad Sweet actually get a piece of that as well. And then Bayston gets into the wall left side, comes out of the frame there. Might need to check on the right rear of Brad Sweet. He did get a piece of one of those cars over there. And Brad Sweet is in the work area, I'm being told. Did not know that until just now. Brad Sweet is in the work area. All the chaos and calamity on the racetrack did not see Brad Sweet make his way into the work area. And so I'm guessing something with the right rear tire. That's my guess, as we did see contact there in that replay. We'll see if Tony Laporta can get us a report down there. Tony Reporta, I see you on the scene down there. Tony, what can you tell us?
Yeah, just getting down here right now, Chase. Things not as hectic because obviously the red flag's still displayed. So members of Brad Sweet's 49 KKR crew are going to work on that right rear corner. I'm going to stick my head in here and see what I can find out.
Thank you very much, Tony. Yes, so big implications here if they can't get that car repaired. Sweet at the point in time was running 15th before the crash. Would have picked up at least one spot with Tanner Thorson's incident there. As Thorson actually still on the racetrack right now, so we'll see if he tries to refire, although he did get hit pretty hard by a couple of different cars there. So Brad Sweet, we'll see who behind him is still on the racetrack. Bryce Lucius is still out there in car number 32. And I think that's about it. Everybody else is either pulled in or is out of the race. So, Tony, what can you tell us?
Checked in with both Justin Adams, the new crew chief, or the returning crew chief, rather, with Casey Kahne Racing, and Shane Bowers, Noisy, Corey Day's crew chief, stopped and talked to me. It sounds like the only issue on the right rear corner of Brad Sweet's 49, a bent right rear shock. So that's what they're going to work on. And obviously, again, talked about how the red flag is still out. So not a major rush, not a huge repair, but they're making sure they get it and they get it right since they have the time down here in the work area. A bent shock on the right rear of the 49. And
so Thorson has made his way down there to the attention of his crew members. We'll see what the damage looks like for him. Looks like some left side wing panel damage there, Tony.
Yeah, Zane Reese from Lynch's crew. That's Zach Middlebrooks from Rico Abreu Racing. As always, a bunch of different guys are jumping in and they're paying all of their attention to the back corner of that left side of the wing panel of Tanner Thorson's top wing. Again, not sure the issue on him getting to the work area, but they're breaking out the tape, and they're trying to pay as much attention as they can to getting that top wing as aerodynamically sound as they can. That seems to be the only issue. They're going around and nutting and bolting the rest of the car, but it's the top wing is where they're putting all of their focus right now.
As he is going to, wow, the tape sounds like already flew off. You can see it drailing or dragging behind the car right now, so at least a little bit of that tape not hanging on too well there to that Hala Vodka number 88 car. Still a long ways to go in this race. We are not even at the halfway point. Single file restart coming up due to contact on a double file restart. HendrickCars.com pace truck pulling into the infield. Cone on the front stretch, cannot pass before that cone. Long time under red flag conditions. We'll see if anybody's cars are affected by that as the green flag comes back in the air. Good restart for Chris Windom as he squirts away a little bit from the 24 Rico Abreu. Abreu second, G still in third. Crouch is fourth. Here's a battle for fifth down the back straightaway as Tyler Courtney makes his way underneath of Corey Eliason, and Tyler Courtney's now into the top five. Moves Sunshine up to fifth. Windom looking strong early on this run. Still a long ways to go. This time by will be 10 laps in, 20 to go. We're a third of the way home. Cars all over the racetrack in the middle of the pack. Corey Day going at it with Casey Kahne. They go side by side down the front straightaway as Tyler Courtney may have got the wall in turn number 2 right there, and he loses the fifth spot right back to Corey Eliason. Close call there for Courtney as he got up and over the cushion, may have slapped the tail tank off the wall right there. Windom once again on the same straightaway as the lap cars. How quickly will he be able to manage getting through the slower traffic? Rico Abreu keeping pace with him. The last time by, Abreu 2/10 faster than your race leader. They have distanced themselves quite a bit from the 99 of Skylar G. Chris Windom now closing in once again on the 78 of Justin Clark. Looking to the outside in turns 1 and 2. Windom makes it around him quickly. Now the next car in line is the 32 of Bryce Lucius. Car around, and it is Brenham Crouch, and the yellow is going to come out. Crouch, an incredible job to keep that car fired off, and he will blend back in with the field there, but he is going to bring out the caution, and the announcer's curse kicks in right there as Crouch was running in fourth, and he's going to slot back in there, back half of the top 10, maybe even outside the top 10 here. Here's a Flow Racing replay. Crouch going to be running right behind this 99 car of Skylar G, gets into the corner, and almost the same thing that Tanner Thorson did, with the exception of him actually going all the way around, but able to keep the car fired right there, and hopefully there's nobody standing over there and got absolutely destroyed by rocks and dirt, but Crouch able to keep on going. We'll see where he slots in. Looks like going to be about 11th or 12th if they leave him right there. Looks like a car coming out of the work area. The rod and supply work area, that is.
It's Brad Sweet. Chased, came back in real quickly. Heading over to check with Eric Pretzman.
Thank you very much. Yeah, Brad Sweet was already running towards the tail end of the field, was running 15th at the time. And so might as well come in. If things don't feel right, might as well come in and make sure everything's tight. There's nothing broken, nothing bent. And so Brad Sweet will rejoin at the tail end of the field. He will go around the 32 of Lucius, the 78 of Justin Clark. Clark is a couple of laps down in this race, Tony.
Sounds like brake line failure on the 49 of Brad Sweet, Chase. So I did ask Eric Pretzman when he broke that down to me. I said, is he pulling off? He goes, nope, he's just going to nurse her home for us. So broken, blown out brake lines on the 49.
Wow, interesting stuff there for Brad Sweet. We'll see how that affects him throughout the rest of the race. Closing in on the halfway point. Can Chris Windom make it happen here tonight at Portsmouth Raceway Park? We're back to green. Windom to the cushion in turns 1 and 2. He's very good, it seems like, on those first couple laps after a restart. Tyler Courtney to the wall on the back straightaway. Courtney blows the... Oh, that was a close call right there with Justin Peck. But Tyler Courtney blows a right rear after hitting the wall and the left rear. He blew both tires off the rear end of the Clausen Marshall Racing 7BC. Tyler Courtney threw a slider at Corey Eliason, hit the wall with such force it blew both rear tires on the NOS Energy Drink number 7 BC car. Now we might need to check if it's a full moon out here tonight in Portsmouth, Ohio. Here is a look at the replay as Courtney makes a move to the inside of Corey Eliason on the restart, clears him by a mile, gets in the cabbage there and just cannot get the car pointed back down the hill, blows the right rear, then Justin Peck comes along and blows out the left rear, Tony.
Chase, Corey Day just pulled into the work area. They're running to talk to him. I don't know what the issue on the car is, but there's probably a foot-long gash missing out of the side of the right side panel of his top wing. I've never seen anything like this. I don't know if that possibly could have been sustained by a piece of flying rubber off the rear tires of Tyler Courtney. The crew are sticking their heads in to Corey Day's cockpit. They're trying to work on something underneath the steering column. We're obviously not going to bug them while they work, but crazy damage to the right side of the top wing for Corey Day.
I'm curious to see if maybe he got a piece of somebody trying to make their way by that issue for Tyler Courtney. A very close call as well for Justin Peck there in that incident. As you know, you heard a couple of guys. You heard Bayston, you heard McFadden talking about the visibility a little bit tough there, and I'm sure that was exactly the issue for Justin Peck. Well, along with the slowing Courtney, and Peck under full speed there, had to make a very, very quick maneuver to not get into the back of him, and he still did. You saw it right there. The right rear of Peck's car got into the left rear of Courtney's car and blew out the left rear. As you get a look at the damage to the right side panel and the right side. Okay, they're looking, yeah, right side. Man, that is a weird-looking incident there for Corey Day. I have no idea what could have caused that there, Tony. You're right. That is definitely an interesting-looking incident or issue there for him.
Well, they've taped up that gash on the right side panel of the top wing, and even when I've stopped to ask the crew members on the Jason Myers Racing number 14, they don't know what it is yet. You can see Heath Moyle from the Brent Mark machine has come over here to join there. It looked like they were going to pop the hood off. They're paying attention to the right side headers now, possibly a spark, an injector issue perhaps on the right side here for Corey Day. Shane Bowers, his crew chief, looking around, waiting on Stefan Sador to come back, as they're still working on this thing over here, Chase. They're not sure what the issue is just yet.
Well, Tony, I'm sorry to tell you, but your work ain't done yet. Tyler Courtney just rolled into the work area, and we'll see if we can see what happened to Corey Day here, if he is involved at all in this incident. As Courtney comes up the hill here, gets over the edge of what would be a little bit of a cushion right there developing, gets into the wall, blows the right rear out. Then he goes down here into turn 3, and this is where things kind of get crazy. PPM misses him, no problem there. Peck gets him right there. And I don't see, there's Corey. Corey come through right there. I didn't see him run into anything, so I'm not really sure what that could have caused. What could have caused that for Corey Day? Maybe a big rock or something? I'm not really sure, but what's going on with Tyler Courtney?
Your regular intensity is starting to ramp up down here in the work area. They had a trouble getting the 7BC of Tyler Courtney over here. As you can imagine, you'll have that with 2 blown out rear tires. They finally did get the machine of Tyler Courtney over here. They're slapping on the right rear. We're going to run over and check on the left side now, as they've got attention being paid. Yeah, the left rear Hoosier, Chase, has completely just gone back all the way in against the framework of the 7BC. There's rim damage, so obviously they're just going to swap everything out here. They pull the used and very bent left rear off. They've already got a brand new left rear on, and as we go back to check on the right rear, everything looks good with these new rear wheels and tires on the 7BC. They, of course, have to make sure they get the bleeders back in. They've got to get the wheel covers screwed back on. They've got to make sure the bleeders are set before they can set the 7BC back down to leave.
Windom, Abreu, G, Eliason, and Price Miller. When we come back to the green flag. Still a lot of money to be decided as Rico gets a great restart right there. Going to look underneath the Chris Windom into turn number 1. Tries to throw a slider. Windom drives around him on the outside. Rico still right there with him down the back straightaway. Does not point the car to the bottom to try and make a move. Abreu a little bit of a wonky corner right there in turn number 3. And Windom pulls back away a little bit back into turn number 1. Watching the race for the 5th position. Corey Eliason's got it. Justin Peck and Zeb Wise right behind him as they work back down the back straightaway. Brent Marks around the outside, gets by Brenham Crouch. That's the race for the 8th position into turn 3. Tyler Courtney has made his way back around the outside of Brad Sweet. Those two running back in the 14th and 15th position right now. Windom, once again, has been the story all race long. How can he make his way through the traffic? These cautions have certainly helped him out. But he may be out of luck now. Cars are getting spread out around the racetrack. Justin Clark, Corey Day, Bryce Lucius, Brad Sweet, the cars up the road from your race leader, Rico Abreu, closing in once again on Chris Windom off of turn number 2. Rico Abreu. The last time by, 3/10 faster than your race leader. But how will they get through traffic? Close call off a turn 2, that time for Kasey Kahne. He nearly lost the handle on the Kahne screen print number 9 car. Windom around the outside of Justin Clark, puts him a lap down once again. Rico Abreu right there behind him. 3 car lengths separate the top 2 as they work back into turn number 1. Here comes Rico Abreu, second last year at the Dean Knittel Memorial, but after a fantastic battle between himself and Brent Marks. Wants to take it here this year. And he's got to get by Chris Windom though. Windom gonna not go down easily. Windom now to the back bumper of Bryce Lucius. He's going to make a mistake. And Windom almost spins the car. Keeps it going. We stay green. He's going to fall to the 3rd spot. Chris Windom, a huge mistake right there, falls to 3rd. Skylar G now up to 2nd. Car off the pace on the backstretch. It's Tanner Thorson, your race leader. Almost just clobbered the lap car in turn 2. Rico Abreu nearly handed it right away right there as he almost got into Bryce Lucius. We've got the yellow flag out. Yellow is out for the 88 car of Tanner Thorson. He was slow on the back straightaway. Pulls the car into the infield. Lights are going out as we see what happened to Windom before we go back to green flag racing. Goes into the corner and just hops over the cushion right there and almost spun all the way around but kept it going. We're coming back to the green flag. Can Rico hang on? Skylar G, good restart there for the 99 car. They all work to the top of the racetrack in 1 and 2, and Abreu going to pull away slightly from the Leduc, Alberta, Canada driver. Zeb Wise underneath of Brent Marks down the back straightaway as Kasey Kahne kisses the wall right there on the back straightaway, and Kahne is now falling towards the rear end of the field, gets passed by Jedrzejek off of turn number 4. Brad Sweet gets by the 42 of Lynch. That's for about 13th position. Everybody relatively spread out around the top side of the racetrack as Zeb Wise takes a peek underneath the 13 of Justin Peck. Peck drives around and maintains P6 for now. Abreu gonna have to deal with the traffic at least one more time if we stay green for the rest of this race. Next time by, 5 laps to go for Rico Abreu. Tyler Courtney trying to fight back towards the front of the field. Right now he's only 2 positions ahead of Brad Sweet. Abreu that time by, 5 to go. And he's got traffic up ahead. Skylar G nowhere close. Last time by, 2.1 seconds was the lead. Windom, Price Miller, Eliason still the top 10. Abreu around the outside of Justin Clark, gets by him safely. The last time Rico tried to put a lap on Bryce Lucius, that was when things almost went haywire. This time by, 3 to go for Rico. Abreu climbing up on the 32 of Lucius, the 11N of Jedrzejek. Abreu a little sideways off the second corner there, but he's got enough room behind him to make those kinds of mistakes. This time by, 2 to go for car number 24. Abreu tries to put a move on Lucius into turn number 2. Cannot make the pass. That allows G to close in, but is it too little too late? Rico Abreu around the outside of Bryce Lucius, going to put him a lap down to the white flag, 1 to go. Rico Abreu around the outside of turns 1 and 2 and down the back straightaway. Rico going to survive here tonight at Portsmouth Raceway Park and win the 7th annual Dean Knittel Memorial. Second goes to Skylar G. Third is going to be Chris Windom. Fourth to Parker Price Miller, and fifth goes to Corey Eliason. How about it, race fans? Your winner here tonight of the Dean Knittel Memorial, driving car number 24. It is Rico Abreu. Abreu wins $25,554. Second spot went to the 99 of Skylar G. Third, the 55 of Chris Windom. Fourth, the 9P of Parker Price Miller. And fifth, the 8 of Corey Eliason. Behind them, it was Justin Peck, Zeb Wise, Brent Marks, Brenham Crouch, and Corey Day, the top 10. Tyler Courtney and Brad Sweet, 11th and 12th. Lynch, 13th. Kasey Kahne, 14th. Final car on the lead lap, Jedrzejek in 15th. Then Bryce Lucius, Justin Clark, Tanner Thorson, James McFadden, Spencer Bayston, Nate Dussel, Cale Stinson, Jacob Allen, and Cole Duncan. Rico Abreu climbing off the top of the Toast Construction number 24, win number 3 of 2024 with Kubota High Limit Racing, and it is a big one worth $25,554 here at the Dean Knittel Memorial. He is going to be absolutely pumped about that. Makes his way around the front of the race car, and he'll talk to Tony Laporta.
For the third time here in 2024, ladies and gentlemen, let him hear it. He heads to Whiskey Myers Victory Lane. It's Rico Abreu. Third time in 2024 you frequent Whiskey Myers Victory Lane. You were just at their concert in Indianapolis a few nights ago. The song played as you rolled in. What went in to park in this car here tonight?
First off, I want to thank Jeff Knittel, his family. You know what this race means to his family, and to get these national series to come compete at them, you know, just shows, you know, the integrity and the person Jeff is. So I think that's a big thing for us drivers, and you know, just how thankful we are to come race for heat race money, longest tow, dash money, qualifying money. So that's all pretty special things that you know, a promoter and these racetracks can put together package-wise for us. And just lucky to be racing with such incredible people. You know, we haven't been hiding anything this year. It's been a struggle to get up here on Victory Lane, just get in the podium, you know, for us. And, you know, I just thank our partners, Arc Zone, for believing in us. Whiskey Myers, very special for us to get into Whiskey Myers Victory Lane. Their support to grassroots racing. I just went to a concert in Indianapolis, and so many race fans were there, so I thought that was really cool to see. You know, my family's at home. My wife, Megan, and Gus, I know they're on the couch watching right now, you know, getting ready for Eldora next week. So good confidence for my team going into the big races. Just really got to thank our partners, you know, Royal Jones, Missoula Valley Transportation, Rich Saddlehofer, Pacific Boring, Rich and the guys. They're always tuned in to our races, and it's very important that, you know, we put up results for those guys that are investing their hard-earned money into our race team.
Now, when I bumped into Brady Forbrook in the Sarasota-Bradenton Airport, he was talking about the fact he didn't get to go to Knoxville with you and Ricky Warner and Zach. The reason you went to Knoxville was to make sure you guys had your engine program where you wanted it after finding some things over this short 4th of July break. Just talk about the constant chase of lap time and perfection in this kind of racing.
Yeah, and it just shows really the backbone of our team, you know, to have a guy like Ricky and to go through some struggles like this, and for him and his experience to, you know, to believe in me and my understanding in the race car and still not give up. Zach and Brady got the same drive. So it's important for us to sometimes go through those and really show the personalities inside these race teams. This is racing out here, you know, 80 times a year. It can get very grueling, you know, week in and week out, high limit, putting on weekday races, have a quick turnaround. You know, this week or last week, it was important for us to go to Knoxville, get some laps. You know, we got some big races coming up, and we got to be on our A game at them.
Yeah, especially with going to Eldora, it's good that you guys are able to work those kind of issues out. As a high roller, a full-time racer with Kubota High Limit Racing, when you win and stand in Whiskey Myers Victory Lane, you get to send $1,000 of an angel donor's money to a charity of your choice. Which charity are you choosing to support tonight?
I know the angel donor's here tonight, so that's pretty special to get a win in front of him. And I know there's a lot of people that have been matching my wins, you know, with these donations to a foundation that definitely, you know, is connected to our race team. The Jack Superhero Foundation, which prioritizes in neuromuscular disease. One of our sponsors, his family members, is going through the process of all that right now, and it's important for us to showcase that in Victory Lane here. And I think that's a credible thing that High Limit does and the Angel Donor does. And so I'm going to match that $1,000 tonight, and I know a bunch of other people are.
The Jack Superheroes, correct?
Jack Superhero Foundation.
Jack Superhero Foundation, folks. Google it, learn more about it. Be like Rico and support a great cause. And let him hear it. He stands in Whiskey Myers Victory Lane for the third time in 2024. Rico's your winner. And what a great battle when we saw the green flag laps here tonight at Portsmouth Raceway Park. Skylar G, let's go back to your race car. Let's make people see it. Let's make sure people know about the sponsors and the partners that get you up and down the road. Man, you've made 3 races with us here in 2024 with Kubota High Limit Racing. At 10th place was your best result back at Butler. tonight had to feel like putting a whole night together. Is that how you'd sum up this evening?
Yeah, I didn't get a very good start there and let Rico by early, and I felt like I could maintain with those guys. And we get lap cars, it was kind of game on. Then everybody would slow up and get right there. But man, our right rear tire went low. I think that first red, and it never really came back. I wasn't sure, how hard to push it or to not push it. And once I got to second there, I just kind of moved the wing back, and it was either going to run second or get by him, or the tire was going to blow.
To come out here and run second with a national championship touring series like Kubota High Limit Racing, just what's this do for you as a driver?
Oh, it's huge. This was our goal this year, was to come out and race with High Limit and the Outlaws and try and be competitive every night and better our program. And I feel like we're doing that. We need a few more things to go our way, and I think we can win some of these races here. But I think Logan and Becky here, they do everything they can to keep us out here, and I appreciate them. And John Jr. Nelson, my parents, Pat Beck, Castle Rock, they've stuck with me for a long time, so hopefully we can pick off some wins here soon.
Second place for Skylar G in the number 99. Folks, let him hear it here at Portsmouth Raceway Park. He had a pretty big contingent hanging out with him here tonight. Chris Windom, happiness for Rico Abreu sometimes means heartbreak for other people. Just got to get right down to it. What happened in turn number 2 while leading?
I don't know for sure what happened. I got tight behind the lap car, and we had a right rear completely flat when we pulled in, and we also had a fuel leak start there about 10 laps into the race, and I ran completely out the last lap, but it was sputtering for a good 9 or 10 laps there at the end, so I was just trying to limp it home. But when I got tight down there, I thought it was kind of strange, and I don't know if I just got in the wrong air, or if the right rear was lower than it should have been, because it was completely flat when we pulled in. But regardless, heartbreaker there. I felt like we were really good there the first half of the race, and I knew Rico was going to be really good too, and he got by us there on that when I messed up. And sucks for these Vermeer guys. We've been trying to get a win all year long, and lead that long and not get it done. It stings quite a bit. But thank you to everybody on this team: Clinton, Carson, Wyatt, Jen, and Tony at home. I know they're watching. Obviously, NOS Energy Drink, Elliot's Custom Trailers, Sun Dollar, Logan Contractors, TK Concrete, Zip Bonds. Like I said earlier, it's been a up and down year with quite a few downs, and it definitely stings to lead that many laps and not get a win there.
A pair of 7th places were your season high results this year with High Limit Racing. I know it's not the win. I know you just said it stings, but are you as a driver able to take any solace in the performance and standing on the podium tonight?
I think so. I feel like the last few weeks, Lucas Oil and here, our cars had really good speed in the A mains, and tonight I feel like we kind of had it all night long. So definitely feel good about that. It definitely sucks to not win, but I guess look on a good note that we had the speed to do it.
Chris Windom in that Vermeer number 55. He was dominant most of the night chase, but he was very honest with us like he has been all night and all season. That one stings after, in his words, making a mistake over in turn number 2.